Functions. Functions start with fun, F-U-N. So functions are fun. Well, functions are one of those F words that are allowed in my math class. So what is a function? Okay. Well, function is a rule. Now think about this is a function. So this function says that whatever that comes in, whatever the input here is, you're going to times 2. So the output here will be 2x. So you double that, so you get 2x. So the input here, usually we use x for the input. And the output here, after this function, is called that f of x. So f parenthesis x. So kind of like a gift wrapping right here. So after this function, you wrap this x over here inside, f of x over here. And sometimes you can think about this like the y. So think about it as a y, okay? So in this case, the output here is 2x. So in this case, if the input is x, after this function, then the output is going to be 2x. So this is called function f of x. So this is read as f of x is equal to, f of x here is equal to 2x. So if given f of x equal to 2x, let's find f of 3. Now notice that whatever inside this parenthesis here, that's the input, that's the x over here, okay? So we're going to plug this 3 into x. So substitute this 3 into this x over here, you get 2 times 3, so you get 6. So 6 is the output. So if 3 goes in, you times 2, then what's coming out of it will be 6. So f of 3 will be equal to 6. Now, given another function, f of x equal to 2x minus 5, we're going to find f of 0. Inside this parenthesis here, that's the input. You're going to take whatever in here and plug it into x. So plug this 0 into x over here, into this function. Then you get 2 times 0, and then minus 5, and then you get negative 5. So the output will be negative 5. The input here is 0, the output is negative 5. Another example, g of t is equal to t squared minus 2t. We're trying to find g of negative 3. So I'm going to plug in negative 3 into t. Now, be careful when you substitute a negative number into the variable. Be sure to put a parenthesis around. Without a parenthesis, the answer will be different. Parenthesis negative 3 squared. Squaring negative 3, we got positive 9. And then this 2 multiplied here is minus 2 times negative 3 is adding 6. So 9 plus 6 is equal to 15. Now what about g of a squared? Now this is the input. Inside the parenthesis here, that's the input. So I'm going to plug this a squared into t, into this function. So you have parenthesis a squared and then square minus 2a squared. Now when you square a squared, that's the same as a squared times a squared. You repeat this base, a squared, twice. A squared times a squared is a to the 4 power. So you get a to the 4 power here. And then here is minus 2a squared. G of a plus 1, we're going to, a plus 1 over here is an input. So we're going to plug this into t. So you get parenthesis a plus 1 squared minus 2 times a plus 1. A plus 1 squared, notice that when you multiply this a plus 1 squared, expand this a plus 1 squared, then you get a squared plus 2a plus 1 over here. Now, distribute this negative 2 here. You get negative 2a minus 2. So simplify, you get a squared minus 1. So g of a plus 1 is equal to a squared minus 1. So you first plug in a plus 1 into the t here. And then later on, expand them and combine items, simplify, and you write down this simplified answer here. Example, Now f of x equal to 5x plus 4. For what value of x is f of x equal to negative 26? Now notice that this negative 26 is a value for this f of x. It's not for x. Think about this f of x over here as the output, right? X is the input. F of x here is the output. Sometimes you can think about this f of x here as y. Okay, so negative 26 is the value for f of x. So we're going to replace this f of x, this whole thing here, think about it as y, by negative 26. So, and then you will solve for x over here because you're trying to find for what value of x is f of x equal to this, right? So you solve for x over here. Solve for x, you get 5x equal to negative 30. Divide both sides by 5, get x equal to negative 6. So the answer here is for x equal to negative 6, f of x will be equal to negative 26. So when the input here is negative 6, the output here is negative 26.